Let's review the Legend series. So the Legend series is split up into 4 books. The first one is Legend, the second is Prodigy, and then Champion, and finally Rebel. I read the other 3 books on an e-library, so I only have this one in person, but this series just brought back huge like Divergent vibes. So in the first book we meet the main characters Day and June. Day is a rebel against the state and June is a soldier for the state, and the US is split into the Republic of America and the Colonies of America, and they're at war with each other. So in that first book we basically meet the main characters, and June is tracking down Day because he's a rebel against the state. At the end of book 2, at the beginning of book 2, June and Day are now working together instead of against each other. And in that second book, they are trying to take down the government for the Republic of America, but then they find out that they actually like the government and they want to keep it. And at the end of book 2, we find out that our favorite main character is dying. Then in book 3, in Champion, once again, they are fighting for their government to put this new guy in power, basically. And all throughout this book, we see Day's perspective as struggling with his illness and slowly dying and everything like that. And then we end off that book with him actually surviving, which is so good. These books made me cry because there is the lost and found family, there is the beautiful love story of enemies to lovers, and then there's also just fighting for what is right. And I loved that perspective in these books. And then of course in this last book we get more of Day's brother's perspective, Eden, when they're older. So this book takes place like 10 years later, and so that's a really good perspective. I really liked this one as well, and overall as a whole I'm gonna give this series a 4.5 stars out of 5.